Yo, welcome to the Jawn podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mills.
I'm your man, P.
What's happening, brother?
A lot.
Listen, we apologize. We missed y'all last week. Our sincerest apologies. We pride ourselves on being consistent, and we both dropped the ball. We just our schedules didn't align, but we right back at it. Just probably a one-time thing, crossing our fingers.
Definitely a one-time thing. It has to be.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a slippery slope.
Nah, yeah. It's that time of year, man.
Listen, remember I was crying about the lack of work all summer?
I told you to treasure that shit.
Bro, that shit dead.
I told you, bro. just be cool with it. Cause when it kick back up, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Bruh. I'm gonna say the last month.
They've been wilding.
Wilding ain't the word. My first 15-hour day of the season was the other day.
15 hours? It's a good job.
I mean, great Jawn, but you talking about tired?
Oh yeah, I know. You was on cruise control.
When I got home and took my socks off, my socks were still standing up.
He's on cruise control for the summer, and then you just got a little rusty. You gotta stay sharp, bro.
I'm not gonna say I got rusty. I got lazy.
Oh, okay. Oof.
That's worse. That's worse than
way
rusty.
Worse.
I got lazy. Like, I'm talking about 3 hours in, I'm fatigued.
Oh man, you bugging.
Yeah.
So let's get into details. You got something? Let me kick it off.
Yeah, you can kick it off.
A little quick, Jawn. This is back at the steakhouse. So I don't know what the fuck was going on, but everybody wanted mashed potatoes that night.
Okay.
And normally we'll prep, I would say, I don't know, probably enough for like, on a normal day, probably enough for like 30 orders.
Okay.
Them 25 of them orders was gone within the first hour and a half.
Damn.
So we fucked because we got to peel the potatoes.
Oh,
okay. So the chef, the chef at the time called audible. He like, I need my two fastest people to like start not getting these potatoes ready. So I'm like, it's me and my homie. Shout out to Pablo.
Okay.
So me and him, we on opposite ends of the trash can with the peelers, smoking these drawers. He go, fucking peeled my thumb, bro. And it was so quick. I was like, what was that? And then you just see, I looked down at my hand. It was so quick. It didn't even bleed. It was just white.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
you cut that joint to the meat.
I'm like, yo, I think my finger's in the trash. Pablo started freaking out, cussing and spitting. What the fuck? So then I look down again. It's just like pouring at this point.
Ew.
So then I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, I gotta find it. Like, I'm gonna super glue this bitch back on. Couldn't find it. Old school, tape it up, put the finger condom on, the finger cot, and then that was it.
The finger cot is like one of the best things that ever could have been invented, but when it fills up, it gets mad uncomfortable.
You know what it is? It's a good and a bad thing because it's universal size.
Yeah. So
I could tell at a certain point during that night, I felt the circulation kind of getting real dicey.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, my finger's getting cold. Like, so it's a great thing to have in the kitchen. Like, they're definitely needed, but they're not like a tried and true definite way to like get through the night. You have to plaster your hand up somehow, some way. Super glue always been my little go-to in emergencies.
I'm glad in my career I've never had any instances like you, because you've told multiple stories, and I'm surprised your hands still work.
They're never that bad. They're bad in the moment because my adrenaline is going, but like, I mean, you done fell, scraped your knee like as a little kid.
Oh yeah.
It's never really crazy. I had two that was really crazy. I'll save the one for next week. But I only had two that was really crazy. Both times I was just being impatient.
Mm-hmm. That's
Everything,
that's usually how it go.
Everything else is just kind of like. So, what you got?
Well, mine is similar to that. I'm glad you said that. Well, no, it's not similar to that, but it is. It's in the same family. And this was recently. This was like a week ago.
Oh shit!
So we have a knife service at work where they'll come and pick them up, drop fresh knives off, sharp, whatever. Almost every time they drop fresh knives off, I cut myself somehow. And I forget what I was doing. I was dicing something. Now we have the regular standard size kitchen knives,
like an 8-inch.
Yeah, and then we have the smaller one. It's like 2 or 3 of them, but the smaller ones. I guess for people that don't like the standard size or people with smaller hands. I don't know. I love the smaller knives though because the grip and everything for me is perfect.
Right.
So I always use a smaller one, and I'm cutting. I'm doing my thing, and I was talking to one of my coworkers. I look away and I come down and I'm like, I stopped it though. I'm about to come down like right on the side of my thumb. Mm-hmm. You see the little boo boo, and it went like, and I stopped it, but it was going through the glove, and I'm like, oh shit, and I looked, and it was so thin, it was like a paper cut.
Oh no!
But paper cuts be the worst.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was a paper cut. I just popped the skin off, and it just started going. And I said, this little thing it was going like that.
And the worst thing you can do is take the skin off. You gotta leave that thing on. That's like it helps. It may not seem like a lot. Leave the skin on. It's almost
like a barrier.
Yeah, it helps with the healing process.
Yeah, I was like, nope, boop, and faucet. And I said, you gotta be shitting me.
Yo, this one cook real quick. He told me about some type of, and I gotta find him. He told me about is some type of something he saw a chef make, but it was like flour, black pepper, baking soda. It was something else, and he packed it on somebody's cut, and it was a real bad cut. He said that shit didn't bleed, yo,
at all.
I gotta find my man's. But he said it was some type of weird plaster that the chef made in the kitchen.
So it was wet.
Yeah, it's like not even a lot of water. He's like, it's like a couple of drops of water just to make it pliable. And then he said he put it on a dude cut. He just sat with it for like 1 or 2 minutes. It's cool.
What?
Yeah, yo. Listen, we're magicians in there for real. We sometimes we do amazing shit, and other times we do some idiotic shit.
That's the craziest shit I've heard.
I was like, why would you do black pepper? But he said, yo, however he set it up or whatever the ratio it was, he was like, it worked.
And the crazy part about it is it probably has some kind of crazy benefit.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like you just not throwing shit together.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just ran for antibiotic ointment, but
me too.
But I guess,
I mean, listen, when you know, you know.
That's true. That's one thing I just want to know.
When you know, you know.
Yeah. So this week, we talking restaurant week, man. The good, the bad, the ugly.
For those that don't know, real quick, restaurant week is actually 2 weeks. It started on the 10th, which was this past Sunday.
Right.
And the last day is the 23rd.
For sure. Yep.
Now, for those of you all that are thinking about going out for restaurant week, I repeat, do not go out on Saturday.
First off, in my humble opinion, don't go out on restaurant week. Just don't. Save yourself the headache. Because granted, this is part of the bad/ugly. It is a great promotional tool for your restaurant. If you're an up and coming restaurant or you're established, it is a great thing to do if you have the staff to do it. because what's going to happen is you're going to reduce the cost of the items. You're going to get a whole bunch of reservations, and you're going to get either bad service, bad food, because we're trying to appease a swarm of customers that wouldn't normally be there.
Right. I mean, you definitely have a point. And the reason why I said don't go out on Saturday is because most restaurants don't participate on Saturdays.
Right.
They're going to save their Saturday. But
for the ones that are at paying full price.
Now, I'm not going to lie, and I have zero shame. I participate in restaurant week is twice a year. I participate in restaurant week twice a year because for me, I normally can't frequent the places that I go if it's not restaurant week.
Oh no, for sure, yeah.
You know, like I'll take the babe out and spend between, you know, depending on the menu, because some restaurants have a $45 menu and some restaurants have a $60 menu. So depending on the menu and then drinks or whatever the case may be for me and the missus, I'll drop anywhere between $120 $150. And that's restaurant week.
Yeah, on a normal
night, that's like
3-4.
That's like, yeah, and I'm not there. Listen, I have no shame in admitting that I can't afford to eat at most of these places if it's not restaurant week. So our date night's already set. Friday, we there.
All right. I mean,
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Friday, we there.
It's just now. Don't get me wrong. I go out during restaurant week, but I stay away from high traffic times because I don't want to be bothered, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a fucking pain in the ass. Like, I don't know how to turn the chef shit off if I'm paying a certain amount of money. So I'm expecting a certain something. Like, even this was a few months ago, I went to the steakhouse, and it was crazy. My homie worked there. He was like, he saw me, he's like, oh shit, let me go tell the chefs now. So I was like, all right. I was like, you don't gotta do that. Like, I'm just here to eat. But then lo and behold, they fucked my steak up. I told my man, you gotta make this right, yo. And he was like, I got you. But so that's like me.
How they mess your steak up?
They overcooked it.
Okay. What did you want?
Medium rare. It was a ribeye.
Okay.
The ribeyes, I go medium rare. Strips, I do medium.
Okay.
Depending on where I'm at, like medium well.
Really?
Some people, I know where I'm at. I know it's an art and a skill to be able to use a broiler or a grill to make a steak.
Right.
I haven't perfected it, but I know how much time I put in to get as good as I am. So, and with the way the economy is and the labor force, you just try and get people.
Now, let me ask you a question. When it comes to the steaks, when you was, you know, doing your thing or whatever the case,
right?
By eye or thermometer?
I go by touch.
By touch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't even got to touch it. I use tongs.
Okay.
So like yeah.
I mean, listen.
It was shout out to I ain't gonna say his name. I think I mentioned him. I brought up his story here before that he taught me how to do it, but he didn't speak English.
No.
Okay. Homie, he spoke. I'm in New York. He spoke Spanish.
Okay.
His English was like not good, but we would talk or whatever, and then he showed me how to do it. He showed me different techniques to use, and it was all cool. And then we got tight, and he was telling me how he hopped the fence.
Oh, him. Okay.
Yeah. So so like I'm a sponge. So he was showing me everything to like be serviceable. I just took the extra step to how can I get great now?
I got you.
So that's the only thing. If I'm doing restaurant week, I avoid high traffic times. I'm not going during happy hour, and I'm not going after 8:00.
Okay, so you was like you would do a lot of lunch then.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Like a super late lunch, like when everybody's going back to work. That's when I'll go.
Oh, so like a 5 o'clock, like 4 or 5?
Nah, probably like 3.
Oh, okay.
Cause
Oh yeah, because dinner service is at that time.
Yeah.
Got you.
So just before dinner service.
Got you. Right before lunch.
Right before
they
the turn.
close for lunch.
Yeah.
Got you. No, that's genius.
Yeah, because anything after 8, you're fucked, and you're gonna be waiting. That's the one thing I hate. I can honestly say I just hate waiting, especially if I got a reservation. Don't tell me it's a 40-minute wait. It's like, oh, come on.
No, you are absolutely right. I remember and this wasn't even restaurant week. We used just date night one night. We went to Butcher and Singer.
Okay.
And I'm reservation bull.
For sure.
I don't show up without one. Reservation, we showed up, and we was like 10, 15 minutes early. And we still didn't get seated until we was 15 minutes before the reservation, and we still didn't get seated until 20 minutes after the reservation.
I'd have left.
And it was whamming in there.
I'd have left. You gotta be able. Now, granted, sometimes it's not the restaurant's fault. Listeners, sometimes it's not the restaurant's fault. When you got people that want to park it there for 6 hours,
yo, and that's what it was, yo. That's exactly what it was. And they were trying to be so polite about asking people, like, y'all done?
Yo, at a certain point, you're ruining everybody's night because you're commandeering the table. Go get some coffee or something somewhere else. Go take a walk. Like, you're pushing everything back, especially if your check already got dropped. And how I view it, check is dropped, you pay the check. You shouldn't be there no more than 20 extra minutes.
Shit, that check gets dropped, I'm going within 10.
See, that's even better. I'm just saying, just average for the listeners that be going out. I'm 5-10 minute bull.
Yeah, like, what are we still here for?
He's like, they got, and this is how, like, you know, we had our front of the house episode where we gave them flack, but I'm gonna be on their side. Yo, I'm trying to turn these tables so I can get more people in, so I can get more tips, more money.
Right,
we get up and go.
Bruh, that shit was crazy.
But yeah,
and then the food was just okay.
For what day did you go? It's like a Friday or Saturday.
It was close to the weekend. It was still a weekday.
Oh, okay.
It was close to the weekend. I think it was like Thursday.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
But I think, like, when I say whamming, like wall to wall, like they were almost like they was basically at capacity. So it was like,
yeah,
you got that many people in there versus how many cooks you got back there doing a thing or whatever the case may be, and it's like your back is against the walls. Like, we got to feed these people. So us being in the business, you kind of understand, but at the same time, when you spending your money, it's like, bruh.
Chefs that's listening, prep for success. I'm gonna give you one instance. We did restaurant week. This is a couple years ago. Steakhouse. Oddly enough, I always want to do things the right way. Early in that day, so we was going to do lunch service. Service was cool. He was like, for dinner, par cooked steaks.
Okay.
And I understand why he did. I understand why he told me to do it.
Yeah, because of time and a half.
Right. But I'm confident in, like, I can get it out.
You went against the grain?
Yeah. But I'm good though. And it's like, and that was like one of the big things that we did there. Like, for those kind of days, like certain heavy reservation days, the Sues work the major stations. And everybody else just kind of fills in, replenishing and helping out and prepping for the next day, that kind of thing.
Got you.
So I went against the grain because I could handle it. Like, that wasn't enough for me to freak out. The next night, they had me expediting that Sue. we had steaks for 3 days. We started turning that shit into employee meal because he part cooked so many. So it's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
Because we sitting there like, damn, you got 30 steaks left over at the end of the night. That's part cooked. We can't serve these the next day. I know there's some places that will, but we wasn't. So we like, fuck it, I guess we got filet mignon for staff meal then, because
what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Yeah. Listen, I remember before I left the hotel to go to where I am now, we didn't, now mind you, it was fresh off the pandemic, so
right.
A lot of stuff was still in the gray area, but they didn't participate in restaurant week when I was there, so I didn't have to worry about it. But we did have our nights when it was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are all these outside people coming into this hotel restaurant for dinner when there's so many other places around here to go? And I was only upset because they still didn't go back to 2 cooks being on the line yet. It was still one person.
Oh no.
One person solo. For a long time. They didn't give a fuck that it was Friday, Saturday. Right. One person. Okay. So the only steak option we had on our menu was New York strip.
Okay.
So, we had the, standard, your fish entree, your steak entree. Mm-hmm. We didn't even have a chicken entree. It was just steak and salmon, and then we had our pasta entree. We had 2 of those actually.
Okay.
But anything, now I didn't par cook per se. I would just grill mark. So I would.
Well, if you about to get smacked around and you by yourself, yeah, don't be a hero.
Yeah, no, listen, I would grill mark like 4 burgers.
Oh no, I wouldn't do the burger.
Grill mark like 2 steaks. I would grill mark like 2 salmons, and then we had pepperoni pizza flatbread, and we had a margarita. And I would just throw them together real quick so I could just pop them in the oven.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
When I tell you that was my saving grace, because everything that I pre-prepped, within the first hour, all that shit was gone.
That's some of the most demoralizing shit you could ever deal with. Like just being on the line, just sitting there watching all this shit you like I'm ahead, watching it vanish right before your eyes. It's like, I can't win.
Bruh, listen, it was plenty of nights, and you felt this in your career. It was plenty of nights where in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, I think this might be my last night. I think the only difference is you've actually walked out of places where I'd be like,
I'd never walk out because of the work. Let me just put that out there. It's never because of the work. Never. I don't think I've had a day where it's like, this might be my last night. Like, fuck this shit. But
well, to reiterate,
definitely I got my fucking ass kicked. I might call out.
It wasn't because of the work per se. Mm-hmm. It was because of the asinine way they were going about running the place. When you ask for suggestions from your staff on how to go about making things better and making them more efficient, but then the ideas that you throw their way always fall on deaf ears, and it's like, well, why'd you ask me?
See, that'd be the thing. So like in exec mode, because I've seen these situations, I know how they're going to plan out. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even going to give you a chance to tell me like what you think should be done. I'm already going to be like, cut the restaurant in half. We're only doing these things. We're out of these things. This is the only way it's going to work. I'll deal with the consequences with the higher ups later, but no, we because we're not finna kill the staff. They're not machines,
right?
And especially if you know you don't have a good team, you really don't want to do that,
right?
So like, I would get last hotel I worked at. I would get it. It would always be a conversation. It would be like, my bad remarks would be, there was no seating available. but the food was great when I finally got a seat.
Okay.
And then my GM would be like you're why are you cutting the restaurant off? Like, why are you cutting it in half? I'm like, this is the schedule of who worked. And he'd be like, good job, Chefy. Because it's like, yeah, bro, we're not doing that. We're not. No. And I still want to get out on time. So that's some like insight into like restaurant week, what you gonna deal with. Now you have your places that actually know how to go about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, but those are your upper echelon, top tier places that actually just participate.
No, you got mom and pops too
to throw you a oop, because it's like, hey, look, man, we want y'all to be able to come here too, but we still want to kill shit on a regular day.
Yeah. And you got your mom and pops too, who I seen this and I thought it was pretty fucking brilliant. They altered the menu so that everything was home style. What my chef brain told me, they got bulk in the back, so all they doing is scooping and serving. I was like, that's fucking smart.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they was turning tables. People was like, yeah, I was in there, I got my food in 10 minutes, out in 40. Like,
because they got them big ass steam tables with everything in there, just keeping it, they keeping it hot, and it's like, let's go. And
yeah,
just wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, and that goes into like who your leader is in the back. And yeah.
Do you know what two places never participate in Restaurant Week?
Who?
Barclay Prime and Steak 48.
Would you?
No. they stand alone. It's like, we don't have to.
Yeah. You're gonna come if you can't eat here on a normal night, why are we reducing the rate?
Right.
And that's how some of them places, I understand. It's like, if you're not going to eat here on a random Tuesday, why are we reducing the rate so you can come in on our days on a Saturday night when we about to make a lot of money? No,
listen, exactly.
It defeats the purpose.
And also, they kind of want to keep the riffraff out. You remember over the pandemic?
Oh yeah,
how
they said
people smutted Steak 48.
Oh yeah, but I totally agree with what they did. It's $100. Was it $100 minimum?
$100 minimum, and
per person.
That was it. In the beginning, it was per person, but then they kind of was like, all right, we kind of drawing, and
I don't see how. But see,
it was $100 minimum. Period.
But see, I hate that they went back on that stance, because you're not finna come in my establishment on a date and get a drink and split crab cakes. Like, what? It's a waste of time.
I mean, it is. I mean, this is what sets them apart, because it's like, y'all not going to treat us like any old chain restaurant.
For sure.
Like,
not even chain. It's just the establishment. How high do you view yourself? So like, even this is why I always say, support your local restaurants. This restaurant week, support your local restaurants. Don't go to those big chains. Go eat a cuisine you never thought you would have. Like, go see these different places and see what they have to offer. Because with the upper echelon, yeah, you're paying for a name and then you're paying for certain products. That don't necessarily mean you're gonna enjoy it. No, because a restaurant week menu isn't normally what people are going there for anyway. Yeah.
You know, like when we go out for restaurant week, we always try to go someplace different every time. Like, we don't want to just keep going to the same places.
For sure.
So where I'm taking her is a staple in the area that we're going to be in, and it's been there for a long time.
Right.
So they're like, they battle tested. They stood the test of time. And their restaurant week menu is pretty slamming. So it's like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and neither of us have been there.
Okay. So that make it.
So that's the added bonus.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's like, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
Can't stress it enough. Support your local restaurants, man. And enjoy restaurant week. Just take our little tidbits of advice. We're trying to make sure you enjoy your date night, your happy hour. You trying to make sure you enjoy it. So just take these tips. You know, you could take them with a grain of salt, or you could just listen to what we saying just to ensure you have a good time.
Yeah, because the ambiance is the ambiance. That's not going to change. It's going to be the same way regardless of what time are you there.
Oh no, the ambiance, we got to bring that up. Ambiance does change depending on where you're going, because they're just getting people to seat you, serve you, and get you out. They're not really trying to
woo you.
No,
yeah.
They trying to turn them tables. Now, if you do come across a veteran server that knows what they're doing, that could be fast, not be so intrusive, but still like get things done, like you're lucky. But listen, the goal of Restaurant Week is get you in and get you out. So good talk, man.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
People got to start taking advantage of the lunch menu though. Because for a couple reasons, but the main reason is to piggyback off of what you said earlier. You go take advantage of the lunch menu, have a nice filling lunch, can actually sit down, enjoy yourself. You're not going to be as rushed. You don't have to deal with the hustle and bustle and the hassle of the place being packed and swarmed.
For sure.
You're not going to be annoyed. And then you got the rest of your evening to do whatever you want to do.
That's true. I think the lunch thing is very specific because, you know, you got your 30 minutes, hour lunch break. You might be able to get in and get something done. Maybe if you're off during the week, that's a plus for you too. But like, I'm with you. The lunch menu, most times the lunch menu is more consistent because of the people that's there during that time of day.
Yeah.
The easier people that's like, I'm not leaving in the morning.
Right.
To go with the knuckleheads at night, no, we're going to be consistent, and that's what you get with lunch menus.
Because perfect little date, right? Y'all go to lunch, depending on where you at, nice lunch menu, you eat, you good. Then when the evening comes around, bar hop a little bit, you might go get your top golf on or whatever the case may be, whatever you decide to do. Wherever you at, small plates. If you want to nibble on something, small plates because you're not that hungry, drinks, and then you still got the rest of the evening to do whatever you want to do. Meanwhile, you driving back to the crib or wherever you going next, and you looking in all these windows and you seeing everybody like this.
waiting. No,
because they can't get seated.
I'm a vicious. I'll go get dinner early, movie, and then I'll do like the. They need to sponsor us, but I'm an avid movie tavern person. I don't go nowhere else.
Oh yeah, I was just there last week.
Listen, movie tavern for me is where
Flower
it's at.
Town?
Movie tavern. Movie tavern. It don't matter where it's at. Got the app on my phone.
You been there lately? To the movie tavern in general?
Yeah.
Did you peep? Did you order food?
I always order food.
Did you peep? They starting to kind of slowly go back to normal, and they ain't sending your stuff out in them jinky ass to go containers anymore. I
didn't mind them though. I appreciated it.
I hated it, yo.
Listen,
I hated it for one reason. I get the same thing every time. You know how I eat these days.
Did you get mozzarella sticks?
Nah, I got the nachos.
Okay.
I get nachos every time. But the nachos, the way they normally come out versus that little container.
Oh, see, I always get like, it's either the wings. I'll do the I think it's like the game day platter.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And then like, so it's always like, I appreciate that it comes out in that to go container.
I got you. Yeah, that shit don't
Easy
work. Easy
clean up, man.
I'll be pissed. And then you paying all that money, but in reality, your dish is cut in half now. Because the container is nowhere near as big as the plate.
But it depends. But see, I'm with you. But it depends on what you get. So like, I always make sure I get what can fit in there. I get my money's worth.
Yeah, I got you.
So
yeah, no, listen, dog. I was just there like What did I? Oh my god! What did I see? I was just there. Oh, what's that movie?
I don't know.
Damn.
Damn, you forgot, bro. You just seen it.
I'm showing my age.
Flash. I don't know.
I've been seeing that. That's been out.
I'm trying to think. What's been out?
It'll come to me later.
Yeah,
I really can't think of it.
it's cool. It's not.
And I was just there last week.
This not a movie review podcast. It's all good. You just see it. You just saw a movie, and the food was. It was cool because you got a full portion.
It was great because I got a full portion.
Right.
But for a fucking change.
Hey, listen, man. I don't. I'm gonna say this, and we can get into motivational mic drop. I know exactly what I'm getting from Movie Tavern, and that's why I appreciate it. Go right up there, get my recliner on, get my little quick snacks to nibble on, depending on the movie.
I almost owned Movie Tavern a couple months ago.
We're not going to talk about that on here.
No,
tell me later.
No, I know. I'm just saying. It came to me just now. Like I almost owned them.
You tell me later. Don't say that on here. But listen, I'll go there. See, depending on what I'm going to, I'm gonna say this, and then we get a motivational. I'm going to see the movie. I get too comfy in there. The food really is just to keep me up.
The food keeps you up.
Yeah, because you're eating.
Oh, I'm about to say.
I give you a perfect example. I went to go see. This was last year when Batman came out. With, the newer one with the
young boy
from Twilight.
That was good.
Listen, spoilers, but you should have been seeing it. Remember when he was talking to Alfred?
What time?
It was when he was in the hospital. It was like in the middle of the movie. I was knocked the fuck out, and then I woke up and was like, "Damn, they still talking?" And then I was like, "Let me go get something from this." I gotta stay up.
It was
It was a long movie. It was just that.
It was
a long movie, but the movie was dope. That might be my favorite Batman movie.
It is. Yeah,
but that whole I was knocked out.
That's saying something though.
What?
To say that's your favorite iteration of it, because Christian Bale did his thing.
You know, they took a different. I appreciate they did Detective Batman. They didn't do the regular one.
Okay.
So that's why, and then they pulled it off like that Batman, Detective Batman, and then how they did the Riddler. Like the Riddler was the villain of the movie. That what we never saw that he like saw him. I was always cartoony. It
was genius the way they did that.
Yeah, make him a real serial killer. Like make him give you the riddles. And he lost at the end. So. Spoilers over. Go see it if you ain't saw it. You want to get into motivational, man? What you got?
So for motivational mic drop, I always say just live a little. And I saw a post actually today on Instagram when it was it was genius how he broke it down.
Right.
And they were saying things like, you work 8 hours a day and yada yada yada, and you only got 15 minutes to eat, and then you work all year just to be able to take a 2-week vacation, and all this other stuff just about life and how work really consumes it. But you gotta make time for yourself.
For sure.
You gotta make time for yourself. You gotta live a little, and you gotta start creating memories. Because the more you consume yourself with work and life and everything that's going on around you, you'll look up and you'll be 60 years old. And all you'll remember is, I worked my entire life.
Right.
But what do you have to show for it? So definitely take the time to put yourself first sometimes and just live. Because we only get one life. So that's my motivational for this week.
That's dope, man. You know, it's crazy that you brought up that. I just saw something recently on the gram where there was this guy. I'm not going to say his name because it was a pretty idiotic take, in my humble opinion. But he was saying we need to see 40 to 50% unemployment across the globe. He said during the pandemic, people got this idea that the company is good to have me. And he was like, it should be the other way around. Like, you should be excited that we hired you. So just going in and like, yo, these people don't owe you nothing. You're a number and a salary.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care, yo. So use them for what you need to use them for. Get what you can out of it, and start your own path. And be the change. Like if you want to, if that is not what you want them to think about, you start your own company, make your own rules.
Right.
So because I was like, damn, it's crazy. I just heard the dude talk about it, like how he like, nah, man, this wave of employees is like they tripping. I'm like, that's not how it works. You just mad nobody buying your products.
Yeah, seriously.
But for motivational mic drop this week, I'm gonna quote this guy. His name's Wayne W. Dyer. Go check out his books, man. He always has like positive outlooks on things and how to change your mindset.
Okay.
So Wayne W. Dyer says, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change.
Play on words, but it means two totally different things.
Yeah. So it's like, if instead of saying, yo, it's I don't know, like the cup is half full or is half empty. Right. It's like, change your perspective on how you view things. It may not be as bad as you think once you change your mindset about it.
No, that's it's deep, but it's also 1,000% true, because just like, you know, when I might say something, you like, no, don't say if, say when.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or don't say try, say will, and stuff like that. And when you rearrange the way you speak, your mind will automatically rearrange the way it thinks.
Right. And then you're just manifesting. You're putting that out there. That's like a 1B motivational mic drop. Manifest. Just say the things that you want. Say the things you deserve.
Right.
Just put it out there. And it may not come to you in a way that you want it, but it's always going to be the way that you need it. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. So, good talk, man.
Yeah. But before we get out of here, again, like we said, enjoy Restaurant Week for everybody that's going to attend, for everybody that's going to partake in it.
Yes, sir.
Be safe. Do your research. Look at these menus online before you just go out somewhere thinking that they're going to have certain things, and you get there and they don't. Reservations are extremely important. Sometimes you're still going to have to wait, but please make your reservations.
Let's be responsible adults and plan ahead.
Yes.
All right, that's just it. Second note, YouTube, subscribe. Patreon, what up? If you're not subscribed to the Patreon, you need to. The merch is up. The merch is up. And if you want early access to the merch, you have to be subscribed to the Patreon. The Patreon, the good family at the Patreon has the password that'll allow them to go purchase all of our merch that's out. Some items they'll be able to get, and you'll never see them again.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. Like the beef crew neck. You'll never see that again. I'm sorry. If you're not a Patreon member, when the store officially goes live, that beef crew neck you will never see again.
Collector's item.
Yes. The t-shirt will be up there, but the crew neck, just in time for fall, you won't see it. So, head on over to Patreon.
It's not even going to cost you an arm and a leg neither.
Nah, man. Listen, we kept it light.
What, a little corny $5 or something like that?
Not for the crew neck.
I'm talking about for the Patreon.
Oh, the Patreon, yeah. Patreon is $5. You get all the pop series. You get all our behind the scenes stuff. You get early access to the merch store. Like, it's $5. $5. So slide on over there. It helps out a lot. we invested right back into the show. So YouTube, shout out to all the YouTube subscribers. I don't know if you looked at the number.
I did.
We doing all right.
We are doing all right.
Please. Last thing. At Gilly, at Wallow. Hit them up. They have a new series called The Intros.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them we need to be on there. Tell them 2 Philly dudes. They need 2 other Philly dudes.
It don't get no better than that.
Yes, sir.
Also, real quick, last thing, we're out of here. We definitely appreciate all of the people from IG that follow us that were reposting us.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
Tagging
Thank you.
Gilly and Wallow in y'all posts about the show. That means the world to us. We appreciate it.
It definitely didn't go unnoticed.
You don't have to, but you did because you want to see us succeed, and our success is everybody's success. So we definitely appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Peace.